good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. It is Monday, the first Monday in April. It's the 3rd. I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and then get to my in-studio guest. I'm so excited. Friday, I didn't do much. Friday night, I just stayed home. I chilled. I relaxed. I needed it. My body was telling me, you need a night off. Saturday night, I was excited. I got to go to Theater 3 in Port Jeff because my friend Chris Monty was doing a comedy show with Chris Roach. And Chris, after their comedy, he showed his pilot called Jiggle the Handle, which was very funny. And I was very, very excited to be there. And I saw a lot of friends. And it was a nice night out. And then Sunday, yesterday, was laundry because we all need clean underwear. And I was here for limo talk with the guys. And speaking about limo talk, I just want to remind everybody that this Thursday at 8 o'clock at MERS in Farmingdale, I will be participating in a comedy show for Graz's fundraiser. So if you're not doing anything on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, come down to MERS in Farmingdale. That's where I'm going to be. All right, I'm going to get to my guest. He is an actor. He's a producer. He's a director. He's a writer. He's a friend of mine, John Merolla. Hi, John.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me tonight.
My pleasure.
We've been talking about doing this for a while, and I'm glad that we came up with today's date for you. I want everyone to get to know you and know more about you. And you're originally from Brooklyn, correct?
Correct.
Born there.
Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst. Then you moved, you said, to
grew up in Marine Park.
Right. Is that where you went to James Madison High School?
James Madison High School.
Yeah. What kind of kid were you? Tell me, were you into sports? Were you into the arts back then?
Not really.
Did you stay out of trouble?
Mostly sports.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I wasn't out of trouble. I was always in trouble. I think everybody was in trouble back then.
Yeah.
It's just the way to live.
Yeah. And what did you do after high school? What did you want to be when you grew up? Did you have a desire as a child, what you wanted to do?
No, not really. I never really had any desire to be anything but just survive.
All right.
In Brooklyn.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it was all about.
That's what you did back then. It's true.
Yeah, but I always loved playing ball. I played ball. I boxed. I martial arts. I did everything. I mean, you name it. I went down the line. I did it. I tried everything. See what I liked. You know.
Right. And you ended up actually studying acting at Stella at the studio of acting. And you said, I want to do this. I
enjoyed it. I used to get a kick out of it. I started off as a singer. And
yes.
I had an agent, and my agent said to me, well, you should act. He says, you're still pretty young. He says, you got a lot of looks out there for you, a lot of jobs you could probably get.
Now, when you were younger singing, were you in a band, or did you do like solo stuff with like backtracks? How did you do that back then?
Well, we did it. We all started in bands.
Yeah.
And that lasted for a little while. And then later on, I just started singing on my own.
Yeah.
Basically, I was doing karaoke and stuff like that. Before you know it, I started enjoying that. And I got a little carried away. I
Well,
started
you
writing
actually
music.
recorded a song called "Love Came So Easy."
Yeah.
You sent it to me. I love it.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
loved it. I was
Thanks.
like, "Ooh, this is it's a really great song."
Thank you.
And you wrote the lyrics and the music.
Not the music. I wrote the lyrics.
The lyrics,
Yeah.
because you hear it in your head, right? You
Yeah.
know what you want it to sound like.
Right. Right. And that song, I'm still waiting for it to take off. I'm hoping it's going to do something.
It's a great song. It really is. Like I said, it just sounds like something like from a rom-com or a Hallmark movie, and you can understand the lyrics. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes, you're right. Exactly. It could really be a second marriage, or it could be first marriage. It could be about a baby. It could be about a lot of
Look,
things.
everyone's been in love at one
Exactly.
point in their life, so it's a relatable song.
Exactly.
And I think that's why. And I do like you have horns in it. It's a nice tempo. Like, it's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's like
Right.
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know? So I like it.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to do something. It's been in Universal Records for about 3 years now.
Wow.
And
so it's like maybe getting the right person to sing it.
I'm trying to get the right person to sing it.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Michael Bublé to see if he was interested in it.
Right.
It's been up in the air. A lot of people have been interested in it.
I listened to it more than once. The first time I listened to it, I heard Barry Manilow.
Yeah, well, if I could get Barry Manilow, that would be pretty good.
That's who I heard, especially at the crescendo towards the end. I was liking it a lot. I really did. But so someone says to you, you need to really get into acting, kid.
Well, it was just really wasn't like that. It was just a suggestion, you know.
Yeah.
And then I did a couple of background gigs, and I started liking it. I was just meeting people. I was having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I said, this is pretty cool.
Well, back in 1993, was that your first original gig? It was called Mobster Confessions.
Yeah. And I got a principal role, actually, before I even got a background role. It was a principal role because I had the look of what they were looking for of that particular character. It was a true story. It's a documentary.
Okay.
So I was lucky for that, and they just
had you audition for that or find out about it? Was it backstage back then? Like
it was Casting Networks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they've been around a long time too.
Yeah,
then.
they have been. Yeah. And when I got there, I wasn't even supposed to get that role when I got there.
Really?
Initially. I was supposed to just get a background role, but then the director said
you had the look.
He looks just like that guy.
You had the look.
Right. And with that, I wound up he said to me, can you drive?
Okay.
I said, of course, I drove here, I said. He said, well, can you drive fast? I said, yeah, I can drive fast.
Okay.
So they gave me a car. They made me do stunt driving.
Really?
I got a stunt credit.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Credit as an actor in one day. And it was like my first time out.
That's a bit, that's so rare that happens.
I know.
Because when you become a stunt actor, you get bumped up.
Absolutely,
you get bumped up. The money, is better.
It was very exciting.
So that was like, really, where do you go from there?
You just keep going. I mean, it makes you want to keep going. That's what it was about.
Where did you film that? Do you remember?
On Fort Hamilton Parkway.
Okay.
And it was funny. They had the whole street blocked off because it was a story about the gangsters in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And it was a real story. I'm not going to say the people's names, but it was a real story about the people.
Right.
And it was a hit. And I was one of the guys to do the hit and pull out real fast with a car.
Right.
And it was a jalopy, basically. It was a jalopy car. And they had the police lines all set up, and all the people were behind the police lines. It was like a real exciting thing for me, let alone for other people watching it.
Yeah.
And after I burned out with the car, I mean, you didn't even have to hit the gas that hard for the car to leave rubber because it was, like I said, jalopy.
Right.
And after it was over, I mean, the whole place was applauding. I felt like what I did over there, I said, I did this years ago for nothing.
That's funny. And then over the years, I mean, you've done movies, you've done shorts, you've done TV. You did something called A Goodbye, which was a short. You did Curb Your Enthusiasm. You did Creed, Take It Back, The Comedian. Did you film that at the Friars Club?
Friars Club,
Tell me about that, because I saw a picture of you with Jerry Lewis was in the background. Was that the same day?
No,
or was
that
that
was
a different?
that was a different night.
Oh, okay.
That was,
I was going to say.
Jerry Lewis had did his last film. I think it was called. It was a woman's name, something Rose.
Okay.
It was actually very good. It was very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, the comedian was with Robert De Niro.
Yes, De Niro.
And it was shot in the Friars Club.
Yeah. I
don't think the film didn't do so well, but
see about you got a picture of De Niro.
Yeah,
we got a picture of you with De Niro. Bobby's gonna scroll through and find that pic of you and Mr. De Niro.
Bobby's scrolling for Bobby.
Bobby. Is it there? I think I sent it to you. I don't know.
Actually,
all right. Well, you know what?
Eyes. I can see from here.
You can. All right. Well, you know what? Why don't you put up some pics from the beginning of what the many faces of John, I call it, because you've played a lot of characters over the years.
Yeah.
Right? That you as a cop.
Yep.
FBI. You've done a lot of things over the years.
Yep. I certainly have. Yeah. When I look at it, I
say
like, I've been around.
It's true. Look, a pilot. And then at one of them, you look like Top Gun here. What was that?
That was just a promo.
Was that? But you look good in uniform. And, and then you've played cops. You've played firemen.
That was FBI.
Was that the
Boardwalk Empire?
Boardwalk Empire. Yes. Thank you, Bobby. Yes, you did Boardwalk Empire.
I played Mickey Doyle's bodyguard.
Yes, you did. And that was a couple of seasons.
5.
Yeah. You were on that.
Run with that.
That was good.
Fun. That was very good.
That was good. But you were also in The Irishman. You were in Gotti, Snitches. You were in a short called Silence. On and on and on. Gravesend. You were in. You did something.
I did the
with,
first episode. With Gravesend.
Yeah. Winds of Silence. You did with Gary Pastor and Steve Stanulis.
Yes, that was recent. We just did that.
Yeah. And
good film.
I don't know. Is it called The Wicked Path? Is that
The
something
Wicked
that you
Path?
just did too?
That's actually still in production.
Okay, all right. Because I know I got post. I got a lot of stuff
that's
here.
Still in production.
But you've played people on the side of the law, and you've played people not on the side of the law. You've played, heads of families, mobsters. You've played someone who you don't want to deal with, and then you've played, someone who comes to, the rescue of someone who needs help. Do you find one easier than the other?
I show anger pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm not an angry guy, but I show it pretty well.
Yeah.
I could,
the emotion
of anger. Chaz Palminteri told me that.
Yes. You got a picture of Chaz. I know we have that.
He says you could be a very angry guy. He said, I'm also a pretty loving guy too. I said I got both ways. Just ask my
There you are with Chaz.
He's a good guy.
Great guy. Who else you have up there, Bobby? I think you have a picture of you, and there's Mr. De Niro, and there's Tony. Yeah. What was that?
Well, actually, that was just at the St. Gennaro's feast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Tony. I know Tony from Brooklyn.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So when I seen him down at the feast, we were hanging out for a little while.
That's cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah, because I bumped into him once at Gold's Gym in Limbrook.
Yeah.
Because his mom was there, so he used to go work out at the gym.
Huh.
Yeah, we used to see each other there back in the day, the early 90s, something like that. But so you could get into that zone of being ticked off.
Yeah, not so much anymore. I kind of leveled out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there
it's too expensive. If you got to get a lawyer, forget it. It costs you a fortune.
Is there a role that you always wanted to play but you haven't yet?
I wouldn't mind playing a priest. I would play a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do a good job. Be like a rough priest,
Yeah, someone who's like street smart and.
Yeah, actually, it was kind of done already. De Niro did it in what was that movie with the kids, with the boys?
Oh yeah, that was based on a true story.
Yeah, that was actually a true story. I can't think of the name of the film, but it was a very good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. Brad Pitt was in that film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I think I would like to play a priest, or I played a lot of things already. I played fathers and lawyer.
What about
I
a
mean,
lounge singer? I could see you do
well,
like a
I
lounge
did that already.
singer.
I actually did
You
it. With,
did?
I actually did it with my song in a film.
You did?
Yeah.
Which film?
It was an episodic.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
nice.
an episodic. I can't even remember the name of it.
But
It
it's
didn't really
nice
go
that you're
anywhere.
able to show both sides in one thing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
If somebody says to me, "Play this role," I'll play it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
played a homeless guy,
Right.
you know, and it was. I thought I did a great job with it, and it was a silent film. All they did was play a piano through the whole film.
Really? And you know what? That's not easy to do because it's all facial expressions.
Right, and I was dressed like a slob, and
Yeah.
I had a, well, I'll say a beard. I got a beard now, but it was like an unruly beard.
Yeah, you look disheveled.
And I was sleeping on a piece of cardboard on the floor.
Wow.
It was done in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The filming was great, and they did the music. It was all just piano music through the whole
I
thing.
love that.
It was great.
I love
It
that.
was really great.
That's really when you have to really bring out your acting
Yeah.
chops, really, because like I said, you know, when you watch silent films, which they were saying how a lot of them are being destroyed now over the years, it's hard to even find them or watch them. They're trying to put them back together again. And you watch these actors and actresses of silent films, you know, like Chaplin or, you
Yeah.
know, before audio, and everything is all in the face and all.
Yeah.
a
Did
lot
you ever
of-
see Chaplin when he was not
Not
as
Chaplin?
Charlie? He was a
Yes.
nice looking guy.
Absolutely.
He was a handsome man.
Yes.
Yeah, really was.
Yeah.
I saw him for the first time. I said, that's
Who is
Charlie
that?"
Chaplin. I said, wow, the guy's a good looking guy. Could
Yeah.
have been a model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But it's amazing how, you know, how far we've come in this industry and how far we're going. How do you feel about special effects and where movies are going now with, you know?
I love special effects if they do them right.
Well, that's the other thing.
You know, if
they have to
if they
kind
do
of
'em
like
right.
look
Some of them don't look right.
right.
If it looks good, like I've seen many that were fantastic. You know, so
Yeah. So it
I-
has to be
I never-
spot on
right.
in order for it to be believable.
that's a talent in itself for somebody just to be able to do that. I still don't even know how they do that. You know,
Yeah.
we've done things like squibs and blood shots, and
Yes,
you know, I got shot in the
yes.
head a couple of times with
Yes.
holes in my head, and,
Yeah.
and sometimes I did one that the brains came out the back of my head on a wall. I mean, that was kind of just like being creative with the prop guy and stuff like that. But that wasn't, you know, CGI or anything.
Well, that's the
So
whole
that
thing.
CGI is like,
Because a lot of people had an issue with The Irishman, as
yeah,
you know. A lot
yeah,
of
I know.
people like, you know, making De Niro and Pesci look younger. And
I didn't like that because then nobody gets a shot anymore. If they could do that to everybody, if they could keep doing that, making people look younger and keep using them in acting, then what happens to the upcoming people?
well, that's the whole thing. Is I'm
you
sure they
know,
could have found somebody to look like
you got to let
know,
the
either
elevator
one of
back
them.
down for people to rise
Correct.
up also.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, look, I'm doing an episodic now. I wrote it. And,
Yes, we're gonna talk about that.
And you want to hold on it?
Yeah, we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna take my first commercial break. When we
Okay.
come back, we're gonna talk about John's baby. So don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Well, hi there, Teresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Teresa. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I am with actor, producer, director, and writer. And he sings, he does stunts. This man does it all. John Merolla is here. And right before the break, we were talking about his baby. He has a baby. He wrote, you writing it, okay? And you are producing it. You're directing it. It's called The Bensonhurst Boys.
It's an episodic.
Yes.
And I wrote it about a year ago,
Mhm.
and we're just starting to shoot it.
Yes.
And it's going very well.
And you play Paulie.
I play Paulie. I'm one of the it's a life story of the bodyguards from the Bensonhurst Spelling Bee.
So it really is based loosely on a true story, or
no, it's mostly fictional.
isn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
there's some truth. There's some truth in it.
Because that was the Bensonhurst Spelling Bee was a short actually that you did in 2012.
Right.
And that was, I think Lorraine Bracco was
Bracco,
in that.
Kelly Ripper,
her
Tony
husband.
Sirico, Marcus
Yes.
Suelos, yeah.
Yes.
Very, very funny.
Yeah.
It got millions of hits.
Yeah.
It was very, very funny. And today people would get offended. Italian people don't get offended about things like that.
No,
everybody else gets offended.
I know.
We don't get offended.
It's very hard. It's very hard.
We laugh at
it. Especially as a comedian. I do a disclaimer before my show sometimes, and I say, the views and the jokes of Teresa Farrell or her, are meant to be funny. Please do not approach the stage. They seed it.
Don't throw tomatoes.
You never know what's gonna happen these days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it's a free for all.
You're right.
And I just want to get up and entertain and make people laugh.
Absolutely,
I'm not looking to offend anybody. It's jokes.
It's
that's
fun.
what you go in there to see, right?
You're going there to laugh, and that's what you should want to do.
Exactly.
Not start a fight.
But so the Bensonhurst Boys is your baby. We filmed the pilot. I was there for the pilot. I helped out behind the scenes, and I did a little background work. And we had a lot of people on set that day.
Yeah,
well, because you've been filming, but the one day I was there was the bar scene. That was like really overnight.
Yeah.
That was
yeah, we did an overnight. That was I couldn't even stand up after that day.
Yeah.
My legs were
Ralph
dead.
and I were the last two people
my legs
there.
were dead.
It was
Ralph,
a long.
Ralph did a lot of hard work.
Long shoot.
Ralph's a good guy to have around.
But it was nice because everyone, what it is when you have good people around you, they all want to help you. They want to, do the right thing. And you have a really, a good reputation in the industry of being a hard worker and honest.
Thank you.
And really, you don't pull any punches, John.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
I have my partner, Mike Morano.
Yes, Mike.
Me and Mike have been buddies for probably 14 years now. We've been partners for 13 years in the mob show.
Yes.
But getting back to Bensonhurst Boys.
Yeah.
What I like to do is I always like to look for good actors, because I do the casting, good actors that don't get a break.
Right.
I want to give somebody a break.
Yeah. And we need a break.
Yeah.
There are people out there that need a break.
I don't want to use the same faces all the time.
Right.
You see these same faces all the time.
Yeah.
It gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of really good actors.
Right.
Sorry about that. That
That's
was
okay.
a Tinkerbell. I hate that watch. Anyway, I know a lot of good actors.
Yes.
That just don't get a break. They don't know somebody.
It's true.
Their cousin's not this guy, yeah. And they never get that shot. And they never get that shot. And when I put them on screen, they're fantastic.
Right, right.
And they listen.
Right.
I had a kid.
Yeah.
He's actually he's actually the son of a personal friend of mine.
Okay.
The kid was fantastic. He was, I don't know, what is he, maybe 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
He listened to me like nothing. I told him exactly how to act, and he acted exactly like I told him.
Yeah.
When I told him to turn it around and make it sad, make it a little sad, he knew what he was, the kid knew what he was doing. He was so fresh. He was like a sponge. Whatever I told him, he did. Just about every actor I had on the set, did the same job.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are people that were so excited to do the film.
Well, that's the whole
you know?
thing, it's like, when you give someone that chance, they want to prove themselves. They want to work twice as hard to show you what they can do.
Absolutely.
You want someone to show up, do the work, and that's it.
I love people like that.
That's the whole thing.
I had a construction business for 40 years.
Yeah.
I had guys that worked hard, and I really appreciated them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
when you deal with people that, there's also guys that come in and they just sit on the side and they try not to do anything.
Right.
But when you see you got a guy that's really trying,
they break their butt.
You want to do something.
They go the extra mile. They go the extra distance.
I really get a charge out of doing something for people.
Yeah.
That deserve it.
Right.
And need it.
Yeah.
If they need it, they want it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people come down, pay is not much, and they come down. I know I've done it myself.
We all have.
I done it not because I needed the money, and not that I have a lot of money, but just that I didn't need to do it for the money, but I did it for the enjoyment.
Well, that's the whole thing.
I just enjoyed it
the
so
love
much.
Of it. I know.
Yeah, it was the love so much that I don't care if I had to go. I drove all the way out. I must have drove 4 hours in Jersey to do this film, Compliance, for 3 lines they gave me.
Right.
But they gave me 3 lines. 3 lines. It was a SAG film. I got 3 lines, and the film was all over the place.
This is what we do.
People were calling me up saying, "I saw that movie, Compliance. It's fantastic.
See,
you were great."
Yeah.
And I didn't have a big part, but it just to be a part of it was a big thing.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is Coda, as you know, was an indie film that won the Academy Award.
Right. Yeah.
And you cannot. How I feel is when someone asks me to do something, I say yes. And then I do it, and then I worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to miss out on an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Or you don't know where it could also lead you or take you, and who you might meet, or where you'll end up. So I don't like saying no. I say yes.
I've been getting residual checks from this one for 5 years now.
Really?
The last one I got was 16 cents, but I still get them. I framed it, actually. It's in my house on my wall.
It's funny because there's a famous story of how the producers of The Godfather walked into my dancing school looking for little kids to run around the wedding scene, and they picked all my friends except me.
Oh,
and back then I had a big mouth, and I said, "How come you're not picking me? I'm Italian." And he said, "Well, we're sorry, little girl, you don't look Italian." And when I was younger, my hair was lighter, and I have the light eyes like you. They wanted
the Sicilian dark.
And I said, "But I'm 100% Sicilian." Yeah. And they're like, "We're sorry." And they all got to be in the freaking movie.
Oh, are you? You're 100% Sicilian?
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I am.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, both my parents are from Sicily. Wow. But that was my first rejection in the industry as a kid. And you're like, wow, this isn't fun. But when you do land that role and you get that part, there's nothing like it. And like you said, driving 4 hours for 3. Yeah. Again, it's because it's in our bones. Yeah. This is what we do.
I drove out to Philadelphia for Silver Lining Playbook. I was in Silver Lining Playbook. I love that movie. I actually watched it again the other night. I slept in a hotel. I drove home. I had a brand new car. Yeah. I had a brand new Chrysler. I love the car.
That's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
No, it was more than that.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
like
depends on what 3.5 hours or something like that. But anyway, we wound up getting a golden time with SAG.
Okay.
And that's like they pay you, like you get paid like double.
Right.
And I wound up getting a waiver because I did a scene right next to Jennifer Lawrence. They didn't, and Robert De Niro, and they didn't keep it. They cut it, but I still got paid for it. So I was so exhausted driving home.
Yeah.
I met somebody on set, and this was a set there was 500 people on.
Wow.
So I met somebody, the guy took a liking to me, we started talking. And he said to me, "Where you going? To Long Island?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "That's why I live in Long Island." He said, "I live in Staten Island." He says, "Would you mind if you go, you give me a lift home?" I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you a ride home if you drive home." I let him drive my brand new car.
Wow.
I didn't care. I couldn't even see.
No, you were tired.
Right?
You were tired.
Now I'm sleeping in the car as he's driving. I don't even know this guy. I just met him. I'm sleeping in the car. All of a sudden, I thought I saw a car bolt across the highway, and I jumped up and I screamed in the car at this guy.
Yeah.
I almost got him killed. I almost got us both killed. Yeah. There was nobody. It was like a figment of my imagination. I was so tired.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, then he takes me, he says to me, "You can come over to my house and sleep If he says you're out of it, he said, don't worry, my
Yeah.
girlfriend's there, but she won't mind. I felt funny. I said, do me a favor, just point me to where the like one of these hotels are. You know those little quick.
Yeah.
I stayed in a hotel. I think there was like fleas in it. I don't know. I just
Oh,
stayed
my
there. I slept 4
God.
hours,
Yeah.
and then I drove
Yeah.
home. I went to my mother's house in Brooklyn, and I slept
It's
there.
it could be a very long and exhausting day.
Incredible.
It really can.
Incredible.
You know.
Yeah, really. It's so much waiting around, and
Oh
and
yeah,
that-
well that's the whole thing with movies is you're waiting around
Yeah.
a long time.
I waited 12 hours in Dark Knight Rises. I was in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I played a construction worker.
Yeah,
The time I had to film
right.
was the end of the night.
Yeah.
So they put me, I'm in a construction outfit.
Yeah.
They put me in
We have a
on
pic
the
of you in
street.
that
Yeah, they
construction
put me on the
outfit, yeah.
street. I don't know if it's that one, but there's a heavy one I had.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they don't tell me what's going to happen. A stunt guy flies over my head with a motorcycle. With, I don't know if you remember the movie when they
Yeah,
would
but
they
didn't
robbed,
tell you anything?
They didn't tell me anything about it.
Really?
Yeah, and I had the expression on my face like I was really scared. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
That's
but my point
insane.
is, they waited 12 hours,
well,
let
that's
me
the whole
sit
thing.
there,
That's the whole thing.
and then they used me like
there's
for
a lot
5
of
minutes.
there's a lot of waiting around when you make a
Yeah.
movie. A lot. And you know, and when you filmed, when I was there overnight, there was a lot. There was a lot going on.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
What do you find the hardest part for you? I mean, listen, you're acting in it, you're writing it, you're directing it, you're producing it, you're wearing a lot of hats. Is one easier than the other?
I love the acting part to me is easy.
Yeah.
I love the acting part.
What's the hardest
The
part?
directing part is very hard.
Okay.
It is, because to get people to listen to direction
Right.
is difficult.
Right.
You know,
And are they
what they
hearing-
perceive you're telling them.
Right. Are they hearing what you're saying?
Are they actually hearing it? Yeah.
Right.
And then everybody wants to get in the camera, so you got to watch that they don't. Some people like to.
Yeah, I have to tell you that we call them extra whores.
Yeah.
There are people on set that just finagle their way. It was funny because I did, I don't usually do background work, but I got called for a movie with Bradley Cooper. Can't say too much about it because I signed paper, so I can't say anything. But you know what I'm talking about. And I said, you know what? I wasn't doing anything that week. It was 2 days on set, and he was directing. And that's why I took it, because how many people could say Bradley Cooper directed me?
Yeah.
I mean, he's 15 feet away from me, and I'm like, hello, look at those blue eyes. Oh my God. And it's Bradley freaking Cooper. So that's why I did it. And it was a great experience for me. And then again, you never know who you're going to meet on set, you know, and it's fun, you know? So, you know, it has its pros and cons, you know what I mean? But when you're not working and you want to work, and, you know, and Ralph Bracco, who's a very good friend of ours, you know, he's been on Law and Order 9 years doing extra work. He's very close with Ice-T and Mariska and the whole crew and clan there.
Yeah.
And actually, I think he's going back tomorrow.
I
think he's going back tomorrow to Law and Order. But the point is that you have a camaraderie. And then even if you're doing background or featured, because, you know, he's up front, you know, front and center when he had on the SWAT uniform and whatever. Yeah. He's not like he's not like in the back
no,
where you don't see him.
No, if you're they usually shoot close frames.
Yeah, like
so if you're in it, you got a good spot.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
A good spot.
But like there were a couple of things I was on, and everyone's like, watch this guy. He's gonna get right in front of the camera. Watch him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they do. They slither their way.
Yeah, I know. You know, I used to.
I just sit back and I just watch everything.
I tell you, in the very beginning when I started going on those sets, I used to do it a little myself. You know, the PA used to tell me, "You go this way, and I go left." I said, "Yeah." I used to go right through the camera. I think we all did it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
You can't blame people for wanting to get on the camera.
No,
they're sitting there for hours.
I know. Everyone wants to get on camera.
A little action, you know.
It's true. It's true.
But I'll tell you, my favorite director that I worked with was Abel Ferrara. I don't know if you ever heard of Abel Ferrara. He's from Mulberry Street.
Yeah.
And he did films like The Bad Lieutenant, and he did
big ones.
Big films.
Big films.
And he was a very comical guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's an older guy. So I remember I didn't even know who he was. 'Cause,
Right.
you know, when I started,
Yeah.
so I'm working in this film called Welcome to New York.
Okay.
It's about the story about the French president that supposedly allegedly raped a girl.
Yeah.
And they were doing the hearing. So they were doing that film.
Okay.
And Gerard Depardieu was
Oh yeah.
playing the French president. And so I'm talking, I'm a correctional officer. I'm actually a court officer. And I'm talking with a bunch of guys that before the thing. And all of a sudden, this man walks over.
Okay.
And he's starting to talk to us, but he's like very
animated,
boisterous and he's animated.
Yeah.
So I went like this. I'm a Brooklyn guy. I say what's on my mind.
Right.
I said to one of the guys, I said, who's this guy? I said, this is the director? He said, yeah, I'm the director. He went like that to me. I said, oh, all right. But he got a kick out of me, you know? So he said, I like this guy. I like this guy. He's got an attitude.
He
said, he told one of the PAs, he said, I want you to put this guy up here and let him say this.
Wow. Boom. That's how it happened.
Now I take Gerard Depardieu out of the back.
Right.
I bring him into the court.
Yeah.
I tell him something.
Yeah.
I forgot what the line was.
Right.
And it was all because of
Isn't that great?
It was all because of it. Because I was just going to get a regular regular thing. You know, if they even saw me, I may have been in the corner somewhere, you know.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
He was a character. What a character.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot, though.
And he's a real native New Yorker. And at the rap party, he was singing Led Zeppelin. Yeah, and it was good.
That's
funny. He was good, and he's not a young man. He was young. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, listen, we're going to take my second break. When we come back, more with John Merolla. Don't go away, people.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
How you doing? It's Sal, the voice of Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Teresa Canastraci, Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Teresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Teresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I want to give some shout outs and say hello to Michael Norton, who's watching in Florida, and Joe DeBarry, and Greg DiFilippo, and Graz from Limo Talk, and Nancy and Marie and Ann, Bruno. Everybody, thank you so much for watching my show and supporting me. Please like the show, share the show, tell everyone to watch the show. Tea Time is on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV. You can listen to it wherever you can hear podcasts. And at 11 a.m. on Channel 20 on Saturdays for people on Long Island who get Optimum. We're going to be on TV Saturday. Isn't that exciting? Yeah.
Nice.
And John Merolla is here with me. He's a dear friend of mine, and we met through Ralph Bracco because John does a show. It is the longest running murder mystery show that started in Manhattan like 30
years now.
Is it 30?
30
years ago, called Murdered by the Mob. And I love this show. I say it's like going to an Italian wedding. Someone gets whacked. You got to figure it out. It's very interactive. Everyone sings and dances, and it's just so much fun. And I have the honor and pleasure of playing Donna Rosella when they need me as an understudy. And speaking of that, June 16th, Write it down on your calendars now. June 16th, we're going to do Murdered by the Mob at Bourbon Street in Bayside. The show in March unfortunately got postponed. So we're doing it in June. June 16th, it's a Friday night, Bourbon Street in Bayside. Just call them, get tickets now. It's going to sell out. It's 3-course dinner and a show, and worth every penny. And it's so much fun. Wear Depends, because you're going to end up piddling yourself. I'm telling you. It's so much fun. So tell me, the show, you were part of the show. How did you acquire the show? Because now you own the show.
With my partner, Mike Merolla.
With Mike,
also,
yes.
The way I started in with Murdered by the Mob is I got hired as the mob boss.
Right.
For Friday nights. The show used to run Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
They used to call me Friday Night Johnny. Johnny is the character.
Johnny,
that's his name.
One of the main characters.
And it's actually my name too, so it was pretty easy to remember my character name.
Yes.
So I worked it for about 3 years. The owner became ill.
Yes.
I wound up buying it from him.
Right.
I took my partner in, Mike Merolla.
Right.
And we've been running the show since. And Mike came in also. He worked, he played the cop once in a while.
Yeah, I know. He told me when I saw him.
He played the councilman. He played a couple of roles.
When I saw him a couple of weeks
Mike's a good
ago,
actor.
yeah, he was telling me how he, you know, I played the councilman. I'm like,
yeah, he could basically play any role. I mean, you know, we would all play all the roles now because we've been doing the show for so long.
Right.
We have a great cast.
And I was going to ask you, out of all the cast members, how many are original that have been there since the beginning? Because I know that there are a few.
Well, Jimmy's been there a very long time.
Yeah.
Probably.
Jimmy MC's the show.
Yeah. Eugene is plays Rocco. He's these guys have been there longer than me.
Yeah.
You know, Allie, all of them basically, except for the ones I brought in recently.
Right.
Most of them have been there longer than me.
Yeah.
And we all click pretty good. You know,
it's a good
show,
familia.
and everybody enjoys it. They all enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's a lot of fun.
Now we're in this place, the Secret Room on 8th Avenue and 46th Street.
Right.
You could go on the website www.murderbythemob.com, buy tickets.
Yeah, you could go there and see where the show's playing, when it's playing.
It's actually a very good night out. And the food
it
is
is.
very
It's a great night out. It really is. And a lot of people go who are celebrating birthdays or anniversary, because, like we said, it is very interactive.
Yeah,
the
we do a lot of Christmas parties, and
yes, you do corporate events.
And
things
like that. We have a couple of crews that go
private
out.
Parties.
Private parties. Yes.
We did a Sweet 16.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, we tweaked it a little bit.
We had some. We had a lot of fun.
We did. We did. It's a great show.
We did a party. We also do a Roaring 20 party that we have all these.
Yes, you have other shows.
We have 27 shows.
Wow.
27 different shows.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We have a Halloween show that's fantastic called The Howling. It's a great show. We usually do it when we were up in Mohawk Mountain.
Right.
Yeah, because it's a weekend show.
Right. And you traveled a lot with the show over the years.
Yeah, well, not so much me when I've had it,
but
when the old owner had it, they were all over.
Yeah.
They were on the Orient Express. They used to do cruise lines.
Wow.
It was really, they had ball.
Yeah.
I wish I worked with them at that time.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. But
we used to go away for weekends on
nice.
Lines. Yeah, it was nice.
I'm doing a cruise ship this weekend. I'll be back on Monday.
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine?
Cool, right?
Nice. What a gig.
Even the comedians, they fly them in and they fly them out.
Yeah, no, I know. I have a lot of friends doing cruise ships right now. Yeah, as a matter of fact, someone approached me saying, would you do a cruise ship? I said,
you should do it.
Yeah, why not?
You'll have a ball.
Absolutely.
You should do it. Yeah.
I would do it.
How's your sea legs?
My sea legs are great. I don't have a problem. I've only done one cruise in my life.
The last cruise I was on was Hurricane Sandy. I thought we were going to die. It was incredible. We went out on it. I went out with a whole group. I couldn't believe we did
gosh.
It. Yeah. I don't even know how the entertainers were dancing. They were dancing on the stage, and they were terrific. The ship was going like this.
That's crazy. My brother gets seasick. We did the Disney cruise, the entire family. It was great. I liked
got sick,
it.
Your brother?
My brother, he's not. He's not. He put between the wristbands and the things behind the ears.
Yeah. But did he do it before we got on the ship?
I think so.
Because
They
a lot
say
of-
you don't do it while you're on it,
No,
right?
a lot of people make the mistake. They
You
put it.
wait,
They
they
want to
wait, they
put it
wait.
on
No, you can't
when
do
they're on
that.
the ship, and
No,
then
you
it's too
can't do
late.
that.
Your body's moving.
I
Already.
say a ship sounds great to me, but we are taking the show to Queens, to Bayside, and we do have places on Long Island that we are working on and looking at, because some people want to go to Manhattan, some people don't want to go to Manhattan, so we're trying to find places for everyone to come see the show.
We're also setting up a new cast in Florida. And
Yes, tell me about that. You're in, all right, so you're like, you're in Boca too now. You're back and forth.
Yeah, Boca, Del Rey.
So you want to do a show down, they're going to love it down there.
They're going to love it.
They're going to
really,
eat it up.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Perfect for them.
I did a comedy show down there. This was pre-Ralph and Bat Boy, but we did Bat Boy down there. Here, Graz, we did Bat Boy in Florida. And they asked me to do stand-up and warm up the crowd, which I did. I did comedy and I warmed up the crowd. They were 80% of them were Italian and from New York. Wow. It was beautiful.
It's all New York.
It was a beautiful thing. It was great. I'm like, how many New Yorkers are here? And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm home.
We're gonna do the Wix Theater.
Okay.
It's a big theater.
Yes, in Boca.
In Boca, yeah. And then there's also another spot we may do in Meisner Park.
Oh, great.
So that's what we're
Will that be
out?
Right that'll be outside, outdoors?
No, it's inside
Is it?
theater.
Is it?
Beautiful theaters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. And when do you plan on doing that? Do you know?
Well, I'm working on it now.
Okay, you have to finalize everything.
Yeah. We also just came back from the Atlantis in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed to do a show down there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Mike just came back from there.
I know you travel a lot, John.
I try.
You travel a lot. And
you gotta do it while you're young.
I know. There's a laundry list of places I wanted to hit before COVID. It didn't happen, but I told you I want to get to Italy, Greece, Spain. I'd love to go to Australia, because I have family that went from Italy to Australia. It's like 24 hours to get there. It's like crazy. But I have family in Melbourne.
Wow.
Yeah. They went from Italy to Australia. Yeah. I know. And then their winters are our summers or something.
A lot of Italians.
Yeah, a lot of Italians there. I want to go. I definitely want to go. But you travel a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm planning on going to Egypt and Israel in the next few months.
Oh my God.
That's a trip I wanted to make for a very long time.
My grandmother wanted to go to Israel really, really,
There's
really bad.
so much education there, history.
Yeah.
I just want to see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's great.
I got that urge for that. I just need that. I got that want.
I know.
You know?
Me too. Listen, my passport's updated. I always have a suitcase in the bottom of my closet for a quick getaway. Yeah. You never know.
I have one in my trunk of my car.
You never know. You're having a vowel on the end of your name. You got it. You never know when you got to go somewhere really fast.
I got everything in the trunk of my car. I got a thing with the shoes, everything, socks, everything.
Exactly. Hey, listen, we're going to take my last commercial break. Don't go away. More with John Merolla when we come back.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Teresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bat Boy?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite Guinea?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
You get some good people.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're here. John Merolla is with me. He's an actor. He's a producer. Yeah, come on in. Come closer. Come closer. He's an actor. He's a producer. He's a director. He's a writer, and I'm happy to say he's a friend of mine. And we met through Ralph Bracco. Ralph Bracco hired me to do your show, Murdered by the Mob. And I know at first you're a little hesitant because we didn't know me,
No, Ralph.
But you trust Ralph.
I trust Ralph. Ralph is my stage manager, so Ralph
Yes.
He takes on a lot.
He does. He does.
More than the most people.
He does. And I never know what part he's playing either.
Yeah, no, he's my everything.
He's your
guy.
go-to.
He's my go-to
He is
guy.
your go-to.
Ralph is a good man.
And I know that, again, you could check out murderedbythemob.com and see when all the shows are in the city. And June 16th, write it down, people. We're coming to Queens, Bayside, Queens, Bourbon Street. So get a bunch of people and come out. It's really going to be an awesome show. June 16th, Bourbon Street in Bayside, Murdered by the Mob. And you can find John on Facebook. It's John Merolla, Merolla. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram as John_Merolla. So you could always see what he's doing and what he has going on. When are you going to start up filming again with Bensonhurst Boys?
With Bensonhurst Boys, probably in the summer.
This summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys wanted to wait till the weather got
We're
nice
in editing
again.
right now with the first episode. So
Yes.
it actually came.
I was going to say, how do you like how that came out?
It came really good.
Summertime, people. Summertime.
Yeah.
They'll be starting up again because you wrote how many episodes already?
10.
You wrote 10 episodes.
And I'm gonna have to shave my beard too.
Yeah.
Because we have to film again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you didn't have it, so you have to take it off.
I have to take
it off.
Yeah. It's okay. It grows fast.
It does. Do you? I don't know. I like facial hair on a man maybe in the winter. Like a winter coat.
Yeah. This is the first one I ever had in my whole life. I never had.
Really?
I never had a beard.
That's the first time you let it come in? Were you surprised it was all white?
Yeah, you can say it. You can say it.
They could see it.
Yeah, but, I used to years ago. I used to have
makes you look very distinguished. I like it. I like it.
The only hair I had on my face when I was growing up was the '70s porno mustache.
Yeah.
Like all the porn stars.
Yeah.
We all had that.
Was that like the handlebar ones?
Yeah, it was just like thick, straight.
Oh, straight. Okay, the handlebar one. That's the Thurman Munson handlebar.
Yeah, that's
mustache. I shaved tonight too.
Well, you're Sicilian.
I know, I'm hairy. I'm Italian critter here. But so 10 episodes under your belt. You're happy about the pilot, and I know that you want to start filming again in the summer. Can you throw up that pic? We have a pic of you and Artie. Artie Pasquale's in the. Can you throw up the pic of? You know what? Just go down the line, and then you'll figure out which one it is. Okay, keep going.
He's the tall, handsome guy.
That's you with Michael Rispoli. Just saw him in a play on Broadway. Great. Yeah. Nope. Hey, how'd you get a picture with Bill?
Bill Murray. Yeah, Bill.
Okay, we'll skip that. Next.
St. Vincent's.
Okay. All right. Wait. That's Benson. That's part of Bensonhurst Boys. That's outside the restaurant where we filmed.
That's our camera guy. On
yes,
the end, Eric.
all the way on the left. Eric. Eric's great. And there he is singing. He's singing.
Yeah, singing.
That's Broadway because you did the show there, right?
Yeah,
Murdered by the Mob.
Murdered by the Mob there.
Do you have a picture of him and Artie? Because I thought I sent you one. All right. I know it's Artie Pasquale, who was in The Sopranos. Amazing actor. He will be sitting there one day. I'm not too sure when.
Good.
Because when I met you guys in Valley Stream, remember?
Yeah.
When I came from Staten, Italy, he said, "Teresa, I'll do your show." So
he's a funny guy too.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's great. Guy. So I gotta get him here. He's coming from Jersey. I know he's like, "Oh, you're on Long Island. I gotta take that drive."
I clicked with him when I first met.
He's great.
We first met.
He's great.
We became friends.
Where'd you first meet Artie?
I worked with Artie on a film in Staten Island. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was. We were two mob guys. He was a boss. I was his underboss, and we were kidding around each other about his haircut or something. It was fun. I had just come back from Mohawk Mountain. It was on my way home.
Right.
I went there.
Yeah, and I know you're filming a lot of the Bensonhurst Boys in Long Island.
Yeah.
Are you actually filming anything in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we're gonna film in Brooklyn
eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some scenes that are already ready to go. Actually, ready to go.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right, great.
So that's it should be good.
All right. Well,
Should be
listen, we have like a minute left before we
Okay.
go. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to thank you for
I'm just glad you came
no
on.
low blows.
No, no, not at all. Well, listen, I want everyone to check John out. Check him out. John Merolla on Facebook, John_Merolla on Instagram. Go to murderedbythemob.com and see when their shows are. They're in the city a lot on a Friday night. June 16th, write it down. We're coming to Bayside, Queens, Bourbon Street. I want to thank you again, my friend, for doing this for
my
me.
pleasure.
I'm glad you came on.
My
I
pleasure.
had a great time, and my door's always open.
Okay,
so
great.
whenever you want to promote, come back.
Absolutely.
All right. Everyone have a great week. Tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you next week, everyone. Ciao.